Two-man game, TMG, get the news fast, AMG, game of two boxes. Name two boxers that hit as hard as this. Yeah, we're cutting to the truth, no, there ain't no narrative. Eyes up on the cup this year, hear the stadium erupt this year. For my team, TMG. TMG.
Jesus. Welcome to a new episode of TMG, episode 40. 40, back again with a guest. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. It's your boy JK from the Eyes on the Ball podcast. The guest today, man. Happy to be here, lads, man.
Who do you support, fella?
Man City, man. My heart. Cut me open now, my heart. See my veins.
What's the story of this origin?
Huh?
What's the story of this origin?
Man City.
The story is...
Because when we were growing up, they were nothing.
The story is, briefly, boy grows up, becomes a man, makes his own life choices.
I know the story. What game was it? Was it Arsenal losing against Birmingham City? Or
What makes you think
Because most guys that support Man City or Real Madrid or Barca, they're ex-Arsenal fans. We know the story.
something happened.
We know the story.
A day happened and they just decided.
We ain't here to talk about my back.
I've been there. I nearly cut. I even got the City shirt. I just didn't go.
Committed?
Nearly committed, and then I decided, let me just stick it out. For
Bro, you got to take your happiness into your own hands.
If
bro.
I just
keep
change
telling
team
man.
now, guys will be on to me.
Think
man.
about it like this, bro. You can have a wife and 3 kids and live a life. You can just get divorced, but you can't change football teams. How can you get rid of your wife, but you can't get rid of your team? Do you know what I'm saying?
If you change teams at 50 years old, the guys will be more onto you than losing your wife.
This is
true.
The guys will be onto you.
It's realist.
True say what, you should decide your team when you're older, innit? You can make your own choices, innit? That's when you really commit. I like.
Football's about loyalty.
Look at all this, man.
Football's about loyalty. Me, I don't believe that because players cut all the time. I don't think they have any loyalty to the teams, but for us fans, it's about loyalty. It's bragging rights. when you go into school, when I was going to school and Arm had a bad week, you know what it is? You get mocked. You hold that cool, man. It's part of growing up.
Big corn. But you know what? Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on all socials before we get started. The Insta, the Twitter. Also as well, Maggie Sipper, the boy, New Styles. You know, the guy has our audio on track, on deck. Make sure you listen to that. Serious track. One of the best lemon pepper freestyles I've ever heard. So that's no cap for me.
Yes. You were in the rapping game briefly, weren't you?
I made my little cameo, you know.
Say so.
Support the boys. Yeah, go listen to Wilson. What's it called again? Freestyle. I'm here freestyle. Listen to that.
There's no way.
I'm listening. I'm there.
It was at the beginning.
What's your rap name?
I didn't have I was in a little snippet. Just part of the video.
You just done the ad-libs, innit? Don't lie.
No, I had a little 16 to spit, but you know, it was cool.
Don't rap again. Anyway, let's start off with the quick fire questions. Just start the pod off. Ronaldo or Messi?
Messi.
LeBron or Jordan?
Jordan.
Larry or Magic?
Magic.
Prime City, Prime Liverpool.
Prime City.
Oh yeah,
No, that's not even close.
We don't get many City fans on here.
I know. Mayweather or Ali?
I'm gonna go Ali.
Fury or AJ?
Fury.
Pep or Klopp?
Pep.
Lakers or Clippers?
Now or in history?
Recent times,
man.
Lakers.
Taking Lakers over these
Both,
Clippers.
innit? Both, yeah.
Okay then, Zion or Luka?
Luka.
What's your first love? Football, basketball, boxing?
Football. Yeah.
Has anyone chosen Zion over Luka?
I think one guy's chose Zion. No, Zion got love, man. What is it? Zion got love.
Not
We
from-
change his question. Trey Young.
Not from me, man.
You want to change it to Trey Young or Luka?
Answer don't change.
Some people saying that Trey Young got out the first round. They're picking him over Luka. That's what guys are saying. Though.
I'm dead. It's closer than it was before.
Never been close. It's still not close now.
Bro,
It's
still not close.
Luka's co-star is a guy that's 7'3" and can't do niche. What was his average in that series?
Was he
7
He got
points?
like 12 points or something like that.
Bro,
The 7'3"
man.
wingman.
The unicorn, my ass.
Man.
Man.
No one's ever said the league's gonna be tracing. People saying it's gonna be Luka's league. So
Luka's, boy.
yeah, so
The boy's a man.
the boys. They say he's big, fam. He's big like LeBron in real life, fam. If you see him,
Yeah, he's working his free throw, son.
that's what LeBron never did.
Fear any man that plays the game at his own pace. Fear that man.
LeBron was never that bad at free throws.
LeBron's been bad.
Never that bad.
Nicholas always had
like
a
50%. LeBron shoots like high 60s.
That's only in one series, man. Look over the course of the season. It was better than. I think it was better than LeBron this season.
Yeah, LeBron in the last few years has been like high 60s. But Luka needs to.
Anyway, this is a good segue to talk about NBA, isn't it?
Playoffs.
So I want to start off with obviously the tie of the playoffs, Nets Bucks. Some people called it the finals. What's your opinions on it so far?
The first 2 games, especially the second game, was just terrible for the Bucks. You know, the Nets just wiped them boys apart, and especially when Harden went down, I was thinking, cool, this is gonna be really interesting. And then he went down. The Nets got the win in the first game. It was kind of close, but they pulled away in the fourth. Cool, home court advantage, fair enough. Second game, they just, like I said, they blew to smithereens, blew out those boys. I was like, cool, this is mad. Go to the third game, back at home for the Bucks. The Bucks eat it, you know, a proper 90s basketball type of game. Physical, guys were missing shots. Low scoring game, I think it was 8-6, 8-3 in the end. And, you know, the Bucks, they ate it in the end, you know, fair enough. I think Drew Holiday had that spinning layup. He hasn't been really good in this series, especially offensively, even though he's kind of done a decent job on Kyrie. Maybe that's taking too much out of his legs, who knows. But Middleton, he was the real decisive factor. He really showed up and showed what he can do. And, you know, hopefully he can keep this up. But Kyrie's down, injured. Probably going to miss the whole series. They said Harden's going to try to play unless he has a setback in today's game 5. But right now, I mean, the momentum's with the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks don't come through this. I got to be looking at, you know, everyone. Got to be looking at Giannis first of all because he's the star man. So right now, I got the Bucks to take it. They should win the next game for really.
No, I agree still. I think, do you know what it is? I think this series is the series where KD really says I'm the best player of all time. Because I feel like the expectations that we've had of LeBron his whole career, now finally KD is faced with them same expectations. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
LeBron's had to carry 4 planks of wood and a meaty head coach to the finals year in, year out. See what I'm saying? And now it's KD's turn. Like, bro, we all, I think we all recognise that KD is a top 1, top 2 player in the game right now, which is fair enough. But he's never had the responsibility of doing what LeBron's done.
That's true.
Do you get what I'm saying? He's had the privilege of playing with Westbrook, Harden, Curry, Clay, Draymond, Kyrie now, Harden.
Again.
Exactly. Now you're going to get what? A Harden that's about 50%. So the onus is on KD, man. Do you get what I'm saying? I think this series now it's the Bucks to lose, man. Do you get what I'm saying? It's the Bucks to lose. I think Giannis has had a break now. Finally, after crashing out pitifully in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
so
it's been awful for him, man.
yeah, man. I think it's the Bucks to win, man. But it's definitely a legacy series for KD, in my opinion, anyway. In my opinion,
It becomes a legacy because Kyrie and Harden are out. Then
I think so, man. I think there comes a point like you can't call a guy the greatest or the best player in the world and he hasn't faced adversity like that. I don't think he's faced much adversity in his career, apart from probably his time at Oklahoma, really and truly. Apart from that, he's been blessed where he's been, man.
the last time one of his co-stars went out, he lost 4-1. So
Do you know what I'm saying? So,
when he was with Memphis and Westbrook got injured, so KD's got a lot to prove. But if Harden's back in any capacity, it just helps.
no,
because
definitely.
You won't have to have the ball handling responsibilities, and that's when I think they have the chance of winning.
No, for sure, man. For sure.
If Harden comes back, I see him re-aggravating his injury because
You've seen it before, man. KD, Golden State, bro. Last year. In his last year. You've seen it before, man.
They said that Harden's injury isn't a tear, so we don't know like exactly what it is. They said it's not a tear. They said nothing on the scan. He just felt something. He didn't feel comfortable.
if it's a pull, it's 2 to 3 weeks. It's been a week and 2-3 days because it happened last Sunday. Not Sunday, just gone. And he needs at least 2 weeks. So
Yeah, unless one of them Kawhi type injuries.
yeah. Unless, like you said, he just felt a little niggle. So it's not a pull. It's uncomfortability. Fair enough.
He said he felt something. The thing is, if I'm Harden,
But he's been injured it before.
Harden's 31 now. Yeah, you don't get to these opportunities very often because look at the chance he has to win this chip. Like, who's really stopping the Nets? Aside from the Clippers, they got the best pieces to stop them. The Jazz don't match up well with them.
Yeah.
The Suns don't match up well with them. The 76ers probably can cause you problems because they have no one to stop him. And then Atlanta is too young to really make an impact. The Clippers is the biggest challenge.
Yeah,
Man.
no, for sure.
The Clippers is the biggest challenge. The Clippers, when they go small, with their guys, they got guys that can guard it, all of their man. They can guard them. So it's really the only people that can stop, and the Clippers get in their own way. So
it is do or die, man. I think, man, because like you said, bro, with the ages of their free stars, I mean, I think Kyrie's the youngest, isn't it? Yeah, Kyrie's the youngest. But yeah, for Harden, man, he's been catting for this ring, man. He has to go out there and do something, but I don't know. Could be another AD situation where he comes in the first 5 minutes, he's back off.
Even if he is there, like, he'll be a defensive liability way more than he usually is. Because if the Bucks have any sensibility about him, they're gonna go at him basically every single play. And what he won't be able to form that wall. And his best aspect defensively has been a post defender. He's gonna chase around those 3-point guys with the hamstrings that gonna signify, you know, he's gonna be a lack of mobility, so we'll be able to really chase guys around the 3-point line, the guys like Brent Forbes and the Cunningtons and those sort of guys. So if the Bucks are smart, maybe who knows? Maybe we'll guard Lopez.
The Nets are defensively have been quite good in that they switch everything.
Yeah, maybe Harden will guard Lopez because Lopez is
Griffin, like,
a 3-point guy now.
Griffin just they don't even guard Giannis like that, to be honest, right now, do they?
They still form that wall.
But they don't guard him as in man up. We're not coming out to you to guard him. We're coming. We just sit back and Giannis, Griffin forms the wall, stops them, and that's it. That's how they play.
No, Griffin is like the first resistance. Then the other guys collapse. If Harden's injured, well, if Harden's playing and obviously he's going to still be feeling that injury, would he be able to collapse effectively and take that contact?
I think one of the things with Giannis that we've highlighted over years now is that he needs to be able to develop a consistent, at least a mid-range.
Yeah,
at least a 15, 20 footer. Do you get what I'm saying? Because, bro, we see in this series, man, he drives in. He got a lot of fouls last game, to be fair to him, which he should. But, bro, they just step off him. Just wait for him to drive and wait for the kick.
Yeah, he can't. But the thing is, I think what I've started to accept that Giannis is just a center.
Essentially,
he's just a center. He's never gonna have that. He's never gonna have that shot. He's never gonna have it like the mid range or the 3-point. He's just not gonna have it.
I mean, yeah. I was listening to one guy explaining what the NBA public expected of Giannis. They expect him to be a perfect basketball player. Expected, you know, obviously got the height, the speed, defensively, offensively. He's expected to get 28 points, 12 rebounds. 6 assists, a steal and a half a game, a block and a half a game, shoot 50% from the field, be respectful from free, should be a good free throw shot. That's basically the perfect basketball player.
He has no bag though.
You can't expect him to be a perfect basketball player. Some guys just have ceilings, and Giannis appears his ceilings when it comes to shooting wise. That's his downfall.
But it's not the biggest.
But in the playoffs,
he's pretty big. But he's got what Giannis has to do. He's gonna have to alter his game. Maybe try and get more on the post and stop handling the ball as much. Because when teams are stop handling the ball from the perimeter as much. Maybe catch it lower to the rim because teams gonna back off you. They're gonna create the wall and expect you to try and dribble. And because he's so tall as well, people can come in. So he does that spin move. People are starting to clock at it. He doesn't put the ball away from him.
He doesn't. When he spin moves, someone was saying that when he spins, he keeps the ball low all the time. He doesn't bring it up. Yeah. You know what? He's not changing the center of attack.
Because he's not coming up for a shot.
Yeah, he's not changing the center of attack. He's just spinning in, and he normally it's called for a trouble. He needs to add more to that. Maybe fake the spin. And then go straight. Like, give me more than what you do.
He needs to work alongside. Also, I don't know what Dirk is doing with his life right now, but he needs to work alongside a guy who historically has a great post game. Because I feel like even if he doesn't, like you say, develop that shot.
Yeah.
If he develops a respectable post game,
Hakeem.
Do you get what I'm saying? Then I think you have more of a problem there. Like, he doesn't need to shoot the mid range or threes anymore. Just get into the post. If you can go for the fadeaway shot, we'll do that. If you can't, go for the layup or try to get a foul sign. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's terrible footwork though. He has awful footwork.
You can work on it though. Footwork is one thing that you can work on.
You can work on his footwork, but he doesn't. For me, with Giannis has got to this level. He's worked so hard. Okay, he's got to this stage, and then people are saying that you still need to improve.
That's what I said. They expect to be the perfect basketball.
Now,
think about where he came from.
But the thing is, it's true. Then now he's in his head, which is the worst thing that he can be as a basketball. Because every time he gets to a certain stage, people say, "You can't do this. You can't do that." And you can see it sometimes, like in the first 2 games, he was in his head like, I need to shoot threes, I need to get to this mid-range. Just do what you normally do. And now let the onus be on Middleton, let it be on Drew Holiday, because I think Drew Holiday has been awful in this series. Like, he hasn't given enough.
Yeah, he's defending Kyrie now.
Yeah, he needs to do more. He still needs to do more, because people, they're not even guarding him too tough. So,
but do you know what? I think, like you said, the expectation of Giannis being a perfect basketball, do you know why that is though? I think when you look at Giannis, you look at a guy that potentially could be the best player in the NBA one day, right?
Yeah, you could, yeah.
And when you look at the players who have historically been the best player in the NBA, the LeBrons, the Kobe's, the Jordans, they've all had very good all-round games. They have essentially been the perfect basketball player.
They're not very close, yeah. But they expect Giannis to go a level above those guys.
I don't think. I don't think so.
They're comparing him to LeBron. They're comparing him to guys like KD, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the kind of guy. They compare. Oh,
No.
wow.
Own goal.
On goal.
Oh, right.
No. Germany are done out here already. Yeah, but they said they expect you to be of a certain level because this is what we've seen. Like when LeBron was on top, he was doing so much. So that's what the comparison is. If you can't do what LeBron was doing, when he was a facilitator, he's a scorer, he's basically everything, he's orchestrating everything. That's why people look at Luka the way they look at Luka, because they think he can do those things, and then now they're trying to say Giannis can do those things.
Sure.
I mean, it's basically expecting to be basically prime LeBron when LeBron's free throw and free is hitting, and I mean,
He doesn't even need to hit free. I don't want to see
I don't
Giannis
think
hit
he needs
threes.
to hit threes.
He
like
doesn't need
that,
to hit
though.
threes at all.
Just have something that has the defense questioning what you're gonna do next.
I think the post game, mid-range, the post mid-range games.
Yeah, man.
Because you've got a team that has like 4 guys that can shoot the free. Even you've got
Exactly.
Lopez, Drew, Middleton, and whoever else is or PJ Tucker is these days. So he's got the spacing required.
Big up PJ Tucker game
Boy,
last game.
3 and 4.
Bro.
Especially
last game.
rugby, basically.
Bro. Yeah,
Physical.
boy.
You have to do what you have to
I
do.
like, do you know what it is? I like the way the refs called that game as well.
They're not gonna call it
Yeah,
that.
this game,
They now.
you
I
know,
think
quick
so.
fouls.
Because it's at home, it's Nets home. They're not gonna let him do that. It's
True.
the thing is though. But what will happen is now he's in KD's head basically. KD's let this become a dogfight between him and Tucker, which is good for the Bucks because maybe one day KD pushes it over the edge, gets a tech, and then if both of them get double techs.
It's worse for
It's
the
worse
next
than
time.
it is.
So take that trade off 10 out of 10 times. The
100%.
Bucks will take that.
100%, man.
So that's what it is, man. In that series, me personally, I see the Nets winning. I see the Nets winning in 7. I think they win tonight. Cause I think
7.
KD's due a performance like
Doesn't
boy.
matter. If there's no Harden, there's a compromise Harden.
You've seen the box.
KD can go for 50. He's calm.
You seen the box? Have you seen the box?
They'll actually do that, you know.
Have you seen the box in New York?
He can go for 50.
They've been awful.
He can go for 50. It's calm. Even then, I don't think we'll go 50 because if the Bucks are smart, they're gonna double team KD every single time.
They don't play like that
If
though.
you're Budenholzer now, do you say let KD go for 50, 60? And let
They don't
the
play
other
like
man-
that.
To be fair, at the start, we'll see what PJ Tucker's doing. If KD starts to go off, the hard double's coming every single time.
Yeah.
We're gonna be doubled.
Just feel it out, innit?
Someone else is gonna have to beat us.
And then if it's Joe Harris,
If it's Joe Harris, let it be Joe
both
Harris.
players play better at home as well.
They do, but KD, he's gonna be getting doubled and maybe even a triple team at times. Like, he's gonna be getting the shit LeBron treatment he was getting when he was with the 18 Cavs. He's gonna get that sort of treatment.
Cool.
Like, he's gonna be all eyes on him.
That's the treatment of
There's no other
someone
star.
who's the best player in the
No
world,
one
isn't
to worry
it?
about.
So, boy, you got
The spacing will be crap.
Mm.
Nah, man. He's gonna get.
The Bucks are not winning this series because they don't like prosperity. That's just
I said they don't like prosperity.
they don't like it. Fam.
But they better win this series. They're smart. They better win this series.
If they don't blow it up, man. If
They'll
you
blow it
can't
up.
beat a depleted Nets team, blow it up, man.
Hey, we'll see, man. Anyway, on to the next series in the East. 76ers Hawks. I don't need to talk too much about this because the 76ers should be 3-1. They should be 3-1 up, to be
Yeah, they
honest.
choked it still.
They choked yesterday. Embiid's not fully fit, so that's really the story of the series. But
Story of his life, really.
And Ben Simmons' lack of offensive progression as well.
so who do you see taking the series then?
Unless Embiid has another game like he did yesterday, and his injury gets worse, I see the 76ers taking it. Potentially 7 because of
I
Embiid's
think
injury.
it's 7, man.
Yeah, but 6 or 7, they should take it.
Because I think even though obviously you have Embiid, he's the biggest star in that team, I think the 76ers as a team are very well all-rounded, innit?
Yeah.
So even with an Embiid that's not 100%, you still have the rest of the team to put up with. It's not like the Nets where if the stars go out, everything's collapse. Do you get what I'm saying? Plus you have a Doc Rivers as well, who a Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah,
he knows the game. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think if Embiid isn't back to his best, I can see it going to 7 still. If it goes to 7, I don't know who will win, to be honest though.
The thing is, the funny thing is about Philly, if Embiid is actually injured, then Simmons will go into the post. I don't know if the Hawks really. I don't think they can guard Simmons like that. You know, if Simmons is actually playing in the post, I don't think they can guard him. So that's even another issue
They
there.
got John Collins there.
You think Simmons? Collins can't guard Simmons when he's like going aggressively. Simmons even did Gobert in. He put 40 on Gobert's head this season.
That was good there.
When he's in the post, he can put up numbers. When Embiid is not there, he puts up numbers.
Who's going to be there? Oh, Dwight Howard's
They won't play Dwight Howard. They probably play Simmons center.
Who's going to be up for 4 guys?
You got Harris, Tybal, Curry, and then they probably play Koopmans or Milton or for like one of the other spots.
I think that's still a good enough five, bro.
Yeah, that's good enough to beat. I think that's good enough to beat the Hawks. They have the perfect defenders for Trae Young. Like they literally have.
Yeah, for sure.
Ty was one of the best defenders, and Simmons.
He was in the defensive team.
Yeah, he made it.
He made it. Yeah.
Shout out to him.
He's one of the best.
Off the bench as well. Off the bench.
He just needs to develop an outside shot just to do something.
What, like second season? We'll get that. But yeah, it's basically, to be honest, that the whole playoffs is basically about health. Whoever's the healthiest team, they will win the chip.
Why is there so many injuries here though?
Because the short off season. And the fact they're playing so many games, like during the regular season, they play like basically 3 games a week. Usually, I think it's like 2.5. So many games. They ain't be able to train as much with the restrictions, I guess. Short off season, short era, especially like the teams that win the finals. Quickest turnaround. That's why essentially they both got bounced in the first round. Essentially, especially the Lakers went down to injuries. The Nuggets are out. They won the Western Finals last year. The Celtics also out.
Questions need to be asked about the Nuggets, by the way. There's no way they should be getting swept. I'm very sorry.
Poor Junior got injured, and the ref dude did a Mazzoline to Jokic, man.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
You can't toss the MVP.
You can't do that still.
Imagine if LeBron did
for that as well. For that.
So they're saying if LeBron did that, they're tossing.
Nah, they wouldn't.
There's no way.
They wouldn't still.
It's just because he's a European white don. They don't respect him like the.
The NBA's
they don't respect him.
NBA's only place in the world that actually respect black guys.
They don't respect him like that, man.
Actually respect black guys out there.
Look at Jokic, like, what are you doing here, fam? You shouldn't be doing this.
But with or without Jamal, man, they can't be getting swept, man. I'm sorry, man.
He should have got one game. So I think they were bad in all games. Like I think Jokic had no support. I look at his backcourt. He had what? Rivers, Campazzo.
That's true.
Paul Jr. was injured. Gordon was like
meaty.
He doesn't really offer anything offensively. Yeah. So I've now know what he is. Like, do you know when someone's a bad team and you think, okay, if they're with good players, they can do this. But now you just know what Aaron Gordon is. Just
no one can make that jump.
He just at that level. So it is what it is with Denver. But Phoenix, man, they got all the tools, man. They can make the finals.
Yeah, you could, yeah.
Yeah, and plus they got help on their side as well.
CP3 had an injury against the Lakers early on. CC got over that. They got good chemistry. The backcourt, CP3 seems to be putting everyone in the right position, especially Booker, Ayton, them guys there. Good coach and Monty. So, I mean, they really hitting their stride.
I like it.
It's so mad because imagine if the AD didn't get injured, Phoenix are not here. If AD didn't get injured, Phoenix are not here. Like, literally, they're not here.
It'll be Lakers to win because everyone else is falling down.
I think the Clippers get out of the West.
They beat the Jazz, yeah?
They beat the Jazz.
Clippers.
I like where the Clippers are at.
You think they beat the Suns as well?
They beat the Suns. Who's the Suns' wings? How many? What? Bridges and Crowder really slowing down.
Bridges is a good defender. Crowder, he's good. He's a pest.
Are they really gonna slow them down though?
I can see them slow down PG. No one said Kawhi. CP3, Booker.
Rondo will definitely play in that series. And Rondo hates CP3.
I hope Rondo plays that series because he's been getting DMPs.
He hates him. Maybe that's the kind of series that's good for him.
I think the Jazz needed to still one of these. The last 2 games that I played, the Jazz needed to win one.
If Matt Conley comes back, change it.
You know what the Jazz are lacking? A 6'8", 6'9" kind of wing defender.
That's a flair.
Yeah, that's athletic. Yeah, he's 6'4".
He's 6'4". That's peak. Well, we got Bogdanovic, but he's not really athletic.
Yeah, so
he's strong.
A lot of teams miss that kind of like. Do you know who? Aaron Gordon would have been perfect for the Jazz.
I don't know.
Because he fits that kind of criteria.
I don't like Aaron Gordon, man.
You don't like him?
We have less responsibility. So he would have been good for Nuggets if what's his name did get injured.
Jamal Murray.
Because obviously when Jamal Murray got injured, his responsibility offensively went up.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
You know what I mean? If his responsibility, just to catch lobs, put backs,
and defend,
and yeah, that's his thing. Because he's not really a shooter like that. But for him to do those, when his role is limited, it can be really, really effective.
I think we're seeing in the NBA, if you don't have those archetypal type of wings that can defend multiple positions, you will struggle. Like you will be in trouble unless you have offensive skills. Your offensive skill set is just out of this world, like the Nets.
The league's set up that way now, isn't it?
It's just set up. You need those kind of wings, man. If you don't have the wings, like there's a time where you need those wings to guard LeBron. Like if you didn't have a wing, that's it. Forget the series. And it's back at that point because look at Kawhi, Paul George. They're gonna take this over. and you got no one to guard KD. It's tough, man.
And now you got flipping 6-8 point guards.
Dominating the league.
With
Is
6'10
tough.
in Ben Simmons' case.
Yeah, so it's just.
But yeah, with the Phoenix Suns and obviously the Nuggets that series, obviously Jokic got MVP, but he got swept, and he even underperformed from his regular season stats. So
Aiton's a good defender for him.
what were you saying about Jokic in that series? Can you not get us one game? Do we expect more?
He has to get you one game.
He got ejected.
But
though.
do you know what it is?
You got ejected late in the game. Like,
I think he done. I think he
Third
done
quarter.
what he could, man. The
He got
supporting cast was just whack.
He's at the end of the day,
It was whack.
people forget that Jokic is a center. He needs other guys to like
one game though.
to do
Couldn't
more.
get more?
I know. I'm not like I don't even really care that Jokic didn't got swept. Like it was what it is.
He shot under 50% from the field, under 30% from three, under 70% from the free throw line. His stats all across the board for this series were down compared to the regular
You
season.
have to take more honest. Michael Porter Jr. was injured, bro. He was playing with a bad back. Like literally, when you have nothing, they go under every screen. It was when it's not Jokic, it's tough.
Do you know, it's like, I hear both sides in it. On one side, it's like he's a centre, so how much responsibility is really on him. On the other side is you can't now use the excuse of he's a centre
He's
when
a point
things are going
centre.
bad. Because this whole season he was a centre and he played well. So
Yeah,
it's not
it's
when
true.
things are going bad that now he's a centre. You
true.
can't expect this from. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he averaged the second most assists a center's ever had behind Wilt Chamberlain. Got like 8.3, I believe. Wilt Chamberlain like 8.6.
The thing is, I'll say Jokic played every game. He was obviously a long season. Denver, they should have even lost against the Trailblazers. The fact that they even won one series is a
Wait,
a
why should have
blessing.
lost against Trailblazers?
Because they don't. What did he have? Their backcourt was what McCollum and Lillard. They should have definitely won. They had pieces.
Not necessarily. Jokic is the best player.
No, because Jokic was killing Nurkic left,
Yeah,
right,
and
and
MPJ
centre.
The
was
Nurkic
there.
thing, I don't know. They had no backup defender for Nurkic.
MPJ was fit in that series. I don't
Yeah,
think.
but it was fitting that series. People were back in Trailblazers before though. If you look at what people were saying before, it's only now with hindsight that people are changing their opinion. A lot of people were back in Trailblazers before.
Yeah, before that series, I thought it could have gone either way, and and went in the way of Jokic.
He won in 6,
Won in
even
6.
better than expectations. The guys were telling me that they were going 7.
So what are we saying about Chris Paul though? His best opportunity to win a chip.
Wait, can I, just quickly? What if Chris Paul wins a ring this year? What does it do to his legacy? Just because there's conflicting arguments here.
Say he's top 5 point guards.
He's
That's what it's
definitively top 5. Yeah.
I don't think he's
For
top
you,
5.
yeah?
If he
I
wins.
don't think he is.
I don't think
If
he's
he wins,
top
he's
5.
definitively top 5.
I don't think
He's
he
not.
is.
If he wins, the chip definitively top 5.
Do you know what happened? If he wins, his ring is so discredited.
Why?
Because people are gonna say AD got injured. LeBron was injured. His path to the West was so easy.
what was
Everyone he faced was injured. That's what will happen
But what
if
was
he
the Suns
wins.
before he came? There was nothing.
The Suns were guys were telling me the Suns were good last year.
They were
I
good-
thought
they're good in the
before the
bubble.
bubble.
They showed they had promise though.
they
They
showed a lot of
they
promise.
showed a tiny bit of promise in the bubble when, let's be honest, especially in the regular season bubble, some teams weren't taking it seriously. So, and they were trying to get to the playoffs.
Yeah, just remember, every guy you back, they've been fumbling. Yeah, you backed Butler last year. Look what him now. I'm just telling you, be very careful how you go with this CP3.
I'm just saying, if he wins a chip, he's supposed to quit.
I don't think so. I think
He's not winning a chip because regardless, whoever comes out of the East will beat the. Whoever comes out of the East beats that Suns team. Because if they face Atlanta, they're overmatched because Atlanta got pieces.
No, they'll beat Atlanta.
Hey, when Bogdanovich is too,
They will- I don't
Atlanta's
think-
bench is deeper than theirs.
I don't think they'll beat the Nets because I expect the Nets have Harden by then.
They don't beat the Bucks,
The Bucks. I think the Bucks have too much size and physicality, and they have better players.
and they don't beat the 76ers because Embiid will eat Aiton for dinner.
76ers.
Aiton's had a very good playoff.
And then Booker won't even get Simmons. Tybalt will guard Booker, and he doesn't guard him well from what I saw.
Yeah, defensively it could be tough for the Suns to navigate that one because they got the 76 got a lot of good defenders, but that'll be an interesting series.
I think there's no shame for the Suns losing in the final though.
Did the Suns beat the Jazz? The thing is, do you see the Suns beating the Jazz? Do you see the Suns beating the Clippers?
I would want to see that series though. Suns
The
v Jazz.
Suns beat Jazz.
Yeah.
I don't think the Suns beat the Jazz though, because the Jazz shoot the free really, really well.
Especially-
They're a very high clip.
Especially Jazz with Conley.
I think that's quite an even series. Jazz Suns. That's probably the most even. I think the Clippers are better than them, but it will be more poetic if he faces the Clippers and beats them.
If you face them.
Chris Paul faces the Clippers.
Oh, yeah,
and
true.
beats them.
You'll be.
Yeah.
So you say if that's win this chip, you won't put in your top 5?
Nah.
No, I got Steph. I got Isaiah Thomas. I've got Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
Probably got Stockton above him at the moment.
Nah, if he wins a chip after going for Stockton, they win nothing.
Well, they got to 2 finals. Even if he gets to 1, he's still
That's
behind
it,
Stockton.
I said if he gets one final, not necessarily.
Is he better?
Is he better than the Big O?
Not better than Oscar. Oscar
Big O,
got a
I
chip.
don't know.
So that means he's 5th. He's behind those
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, we
He's
fifth.
up 5th.
Yeah, Steph 5.
Steph.
Magic, Big O, Isaiah
Isaiah
Thomas.
Thomas.
If he wins the chip,
Nah,
he'll be
So he's
fine.
behind Stockton at the moment.
He's behind Stockton at the moment. He's probably behind Jason Kidd at the moment.
Yeah.
But
Do you think Kid's got a chip as well?
yeah, but he was a role player at that time.
Yeah, well.
Not
CP3 over Kyrie?
Kyrie's not. I don't.
Kyrie's
Kyrie's like a 0 guard, man. I don't really see him as a point guard.
Some people say that about Steph. Some people don't call Steph a point guard.
Because do you know what it is? As well as that, you got to look at what they've been in the playoffs.
What's Steph been? What's Kyrie been when he was with the Celtics? What was Kyrie like?
Toxic.
He was toxic. He was awful in the playoffs as well.
Yeah.
In that box series, he was awful. So that's why I'll mark him down for that. Without
Kyrie in that Warriors series, though, bro.
fam,
Yeah.
that's a legacy defining series. Yeah,
Bro.
If you give CP3 LeBron, basically prime LeBron, what's happening?
You had CP3
Yeah,
had Blake
unfortunately.
Griffin and DeAndre Jordan and Doc
Yeah, true.
Rivers.
He had
Blake
a
Griffin's not
top 5.
LeBron.
He had a top
Blake
5 player.
Griffin-
Oh,
CP3 had a top 5 player.
What would you rather take?
Blake was a top 5 player at that time.
What would you rather take? Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan or LeBron and Kevin Love?
I'm sorry, but
I'll
the
take
way
LeBron
you're
over both
talking
of them.
there, Guys talk about the Clippers as if. Do you know when before the Golden State
Yeah,
were on
they
their run,
underachieved.
the Clippers should have not even allowed the run to start.
Yeah, they
They
underachieved.
underachieved.
But if you want to compare it to
And
Kyrie,
when
He
CP3
was,
had
he
the
was a
chip,
leader.
We're gonna
He
compare
was a leader.
yeah, if you're gonna put CP3.
Yeah, okay, thank
We're
you.
gonna compare it to Kyrie. Kyrie played with LeBron, and now Kyrie's playing with KD and Harden. You give CP3 those guys.
it's hard to better point guard than him.
Yeah.
Classify there's a point.
If you want to force it, then yeah, Harden would be, but he's not. But CP3, if you give him prime LeBron, boy.
I hear it, man. I think, yeah. I mean, therefore top 10, top 5.
Top 5 he wins. If he doesn't win, he'll still be somewhere between 5 and 10. Some guys have put him.
Still behind Steph.
Some guys say if he wins.
Still behind Kyle Lowry as well. So.
Some guys say if he wins, he'll be like second or something. I was like, wow. I think that's what Colin Coward said.
Is he better than Kyle Lowry?
He's better than. Is he better than Kyle Lowry?
He is, man.
better
Come
than
on.
Kyrie.
Kyle Lowry's legacy though is deep.
Nah, come on.
Kyle Lowry's got a
man.
chip, man.
Yeah,
Chip
but
City, man.
the Warriors were injured. As everyone likes to say.
Those are injured. Yeah, he's got a
It
chip.
was a broken Warriors team still.
It's a broken what? Well, what's CPP going through a broken West? Absolutely, everything's broken.
True.
The shout out to him.
But then CP3 has faced broken teams. Kyle Lowry has to play one. It's one team in one series.
Hey, Kyle Lowry was obviously instrumental. He was the mental leader while
Nah, he was big in that series.
he was the mental leader while
big.
Kawhi was the guy that got them over the line. But
Yeah.
set the
Sure.
onus. I had that.
For sure,
I
for sure.
had that.
What are we saying? What, Donovan top 5 shooting guard? Really?
I don't think it's that much. I'm not good shooting.
He's probably one of the best shooting
three?
guards.
What do we say top
Is
3?
it? What is it? Him,
James.
Harden's. Yeah,
Yeah.
What is Harden, bro?
Harden.
It's
It's
Harden.
probably it's the
Still
shooting
shooting
guard
guard,
and
yeah.
He's a combo guard, but he's still a shooting guard.
got Harden, Clay,
Clay, yeah.
CJ. Bradley.
The Mitchell's better than CJ.
CJ,
Bradley
Bradley, yeah,
You think he's better than Bradley Bill?
better. Yeah, better.
Show me
Bradley.
more, show me
Bradley,
more.
Bradley Bill only does one thing, which is score. He doesn't do anything else. He just scores. And Mitchell's better scorer than Bradley Bill, I think, off the bounce.
Yeah, Mitchell's he's 5th of all time in playoff points per game. Guys have played over 25 games.
Yeah, that's gonna change, man. Guys like Moran and that get their numbers up. Moran, I saw Moran averaging like 30 something in the playoffs.
Can you name the other 4 guys above him? All time points per game.
Jordan,
Yep.
KD,
Mhm.
Kareem.
Nope.
What?
Points per game. Because remember, Kareem's playing until he was like 40.
Okay, let's see.
So you got Jordan, Durant.
Kawhi,
I know this one.
AI.
Yep. Good shot. He's second.
One more.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So how many games minimum?
I think minimum 25.
Well, what's Donovan Mitchell averaging?
He's averaging 28.8, I think.
Is it Shaq?
No,
No, it can't be Shaq. Can't be Shaq.
Kobe.
Nope.
I don't know.
You won't get this one. I will give you this. He's a Laker. He's a Laker legend.
Webby?
Laker legend.
Yeah, Laker.
Magic.
Nope.
Mate, of course not Magic. James Worthy.
Nope.
No. What era?
Oh,
Jerry West.
Yeah, West. Jerry. The logo.
Oh, yeah.
Donovan Mitchell. Wow.
When you went in through eras, I was like, cool. Man, it's good, man.